Hey everyone, I know it's been a few months since my last video, and I apologize for that, but I've had a lot go on. I moved, I ran a keyboard group by, and I started this application, which I kind of made a video for a couple months back, I believe at this point. And it's called MechBuy. So I originally created MechBuy because I kind of was missing out on the posts or the sales for items for the mechanical keyboard community that I really wanted that I missed out in the past. But I'm not going to go into too many details about the why. If you want to know that, then check the video. I'll put a link. I'll put an icon to it on one of the sides of the screen, and I'll also put it down in the description. So just go take a look at that. But just from a general gist of that video, I essentially got a proof of concept working that used the Reddit API and the Twilio API. And it essentially, I could register entries in my database to be alerted for, and then I would be notified as I went forward with that. So the only thing about that was it was very hard coded and it only worked for me. So I had shown it to a few of my other friends in the mechanical keyboard community, and they liked it and they said, oh, it'd be cool if I could use something like this. So I decided to make it into more of a tool. So that's kind of where this devlog comes in. So I didn't really record. I recorded while I was developing, but I didn't really sync everything up. So I'm just going to kind of overlay some of the coding things with some of the things I'm talking about as I go along. And I'll try to cover everything I did in between then. So essentially where I started was I had to build the UI. Since I'm not the best designer, I just recycled a UI that I used for a previous application. So that's where I started. I started by pulling up that application. Basically, I cloned that previous UI, and I just started modifying it so it worked more for MechBuy. So quite a few of the things had to change about it, but it wasn't as difficult considering I'd already done the hard work of writing a UI from scratch, picking color schemes, stuff like that. So there were some things that I did have to build on top of it though, after I got done with that. And the main things were the authentication system and the dashboard system. So there are, literally tons of authentication providers out there, but I want to do mine in a very specific way. I wanted it to be passwordless. So I wanted the user to have to essentially sign in with their phone number every time. And I got the idea from Affirm. The way Affirm does it is when you go to sign in on the website, you don't have a password. You just punch in your phone number, and then they send you a text message with a 6-digit code. You punch in that 6-digit code, and then you're authorized. So that's what I wanted to do. Now that sounds really simple, but building an assets of yourself from scratch is actually pretty difficult, and I wouldn't really recommend it. Definitely a huge learning point though, and I've definitely gotten it really working pretty solid now. So that was one part of it. And then the next part was kind of worrying about the dashboard. So like where users actually land. The reason why those two are difficult together and why I've kind of listed them and broken them out is because I really needed a way of state management. So there has to be a way for the web browser to know that the user is authenticated. And then there has to be a way for the web browser to know what queries the user has, if they change those queries, et cetera, et cetera. So I had to program that into dashboard. I decided that instead of using, it's because I was using React as my front end, instead of using like Redux, other tool called Pull State. So I've used Pull State in a couple applications now, and it's a very lightweight state management system. And it uses kind of a hooks API syntax very similar to React hooks. So if you're already using React hooks and you're already familiar with React hooks, it's probably not a stretch for you to use Pull State. It's actually really useful, and I'm using it all throughout the application. It works really well, and it's pretty performant. So then after I kind of figured all that out, the next and the hardest part I would say was probably the deployment. Because I didn't want to just like deploy it and just have it out there. I wanted this to be very easy for me to essentially do an update. Like if I want to do an update, I want to be able to do that update and push that update out within minutes. And so basically it kind of broke down to the way I was going to do it was I wanted to have these Docker containers out there in a way that could be easily orchestrated. And to do that, I decided to use Kubernetes. So for those of you who don't know, Kubernetes is kind of an orchestration tool for Docker. So think about if you have multiple containers and you need them to network together and to make a whole application, that's how you generally do it. You use some sort of tool like Kubernetes. And anyway, I decided I was going to use Kubernetes and I was going to host everything out on Linode. So it was actually relatively easy once I figured out all the individual pieces. So I created all my YAMLs from scratch. I know there's like tons of ways to do it, but I wanted to really learn how to do it. And so I created them from scratch, and it really taught me a lot. I had a lot of issues, and specifically I had a lot of issues with the load balancer side of it. But luckily Linode has actually fantastic documentation for their platform. And so it made it really easy when I got stuck to find a solution that I was like looking for. So now I pretty much at that point had everything together. I mean, I have the UI, and I have the UI, and I have the backend API service of it kind of like working pretty well, and everything like that. So it was really all coming together, and now that the deployment was out of the way, it was finally up there and it was working. So I tested it for a few days, and then I just released it to my, I announced it to my Discord group, and I was like, hey, because some people check it out. And then I also emailed it out to some people on my email list to check it out. And I think as of the time of recording this video, I had 10 users sign up on the platform. So that's like really cool. It's really cool to have seen people sign up and use it. And I've already gotten some people that have emailed me like some feedback, like some things they'd like to see. So that's kind of what I want to do if I do a future video of this. I'm not sure I really will, but I really do like that I'm building MechBuy. I think it's really cool that something I use is actually being used by people out there, because that's the problem. I think a lot of the times myself and a lot of other like tinkerers or programmers, we make things that we never fully release or that we never let other people use, even though it's really cool, and we really believe that it'd be very useful for a lot of people. So this is my way of kind of breaking that cycle and just finally releasing something that people can actually use and actually see, and I'm really excited. So if you kind of like mechanical keyboards or anything like that, or you've been looking for a very particular set, be sure to check out MechBuy. I'm going to put a link to it down in the description down below. And yeah, you can sign up. It's completely free. And again, sign up in my Discord as well. Let me know what you think if you try it out. If you got any ideas or tips or hints or anything like that, please do let me know. And if there's enough interest, I might even open source it, so then the community can really help build it all together. Because that would be kind of cool to lead, and also just to be like, yeah, I started this open source project. All right, well, that's going to be it for me this time. Let me know if you like this video. I know this is kind of a weird devlog. I don't really know how to make devlogs. So let me know what you liked in this video. If you liked this video at all, please hit that like button. If you like this channel at all, please hit that subscribe button. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.